Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go. Let's start this show. Let's go. Oh, let's start this show.
Hey, news crew. So, we are back with a quick news report. And please make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Thank you. So, American R&B singer Jesse Powell has died at the age of 51. Now, the news of his death began circulating early Wednesday morning as his sisters shared the following statement on their social media sites. It is with a heavy heart that we announce the passing of our beloved son, brother, and uncle, Jesse Powell. He passed away peacefully in his Los Angeles home. The family asks for privacy at this time as we mourn this tremendous loss and celebrate his everlasting legacy. Jesse loved music, and he especially loved his fans who supported him throughout his career. We want you all to know that you meant the world to him, the Powell family. Now, Jesse was born on September 12th, 1971. He was an American R&B soul songwriter, singer, best known for his hit "You," which peaked at number 2 on the R&B charts and number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Jesse produced 4 studio albums during his career and was the older brother of R&B singers Trina and Tamara. Rest in peace, Jesse. We send our prayers, love, and condolences to his family, friends, and fans. Y'all stay tuned and let me know your favorite Jesse Powell song in the comments. And please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video drops. And until next time, deuces. Good morning. You're showing right now, right? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, crew. Good morning, news crew. Good morning, crew family. Shout out to the Moddies. I see you down there, Hot Spicy Tea. Thank you for being here. What up, Naries? Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning to you on the replay. Good morning. Good morning. Before I begin and start running my mouth, I want to say that today's show is not going to be a typical show. It won't be a hot topics, a local news show. As I've shared with you all before, there are days where I just want to come down and just have real conversations with you all. And this was one of those mornings. I did do my work. I did do my homework. I, scoured to find some topics and stuff. But I only came across about 4 topics that I was interested in. Not enough for a live. So I'm going to put those in a week, a midday
video upload for you all. So today, if you're looking for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can still count on me to do it in an upload. But today we're going to talk about this article I came across. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I was asked a couple of weeks ago, maybe at the end of July, to give a class, a sort of a speech to some high school students about starting the school year off and finishing it on a right track. And in the element of me developing my speech, I'm searching the internet for different topics and stuff, and I came across this article that came out on August 16th, and the article was titled 16 signs that you need to grow, that tell you basically need to grow up. 16 signs, 16 signs that you need to grow up and start being an adult. And I basically created my whole entire speech around this article that I'll be talking to these students about. But in the midst of doing so, there were so many things that were pointing directly at me, like, bro, you need to get on that too. And so I've been reading this article for a couple weeks now, dissecting it, looking at it, and it's a really good article. And so I wanted to share it with you all today, have some little conversation. It'll be about an hour talk. So if you down, please stick around, hit that like button. And if you feeling like, King Roman, I catch the replay, I still appreciate you, and I thank you for being here as well. But give me this opportunity, because I think this might be my vibe on Wednesdays. I want to come and just have like real life conversation. So I got me some information. I'm gonna share the information with you all. And when I tell you, as we go through these, it's so many that hit me. Not that I feel like I'm immature, but there are certain things I do need to grow up with. Now, rest in peace to both P&B Rock since we last spoke, and rest in peace to Jesse Powell. We lost both of them. We lost P&B Rock on Monday, which I'm putting together a very, very comprehensive video for you all. A very good video for you all. It's about 10 minutes long. I've been working on it all night, and then I had to stop doing that, and I had to go into my Jesse Powell video. I instantly do that. I had no sleep. I've been up all night. I'm in the process of growing my hair back out so I can, the winter coming. So, I like to have if you ever saw my other videos where I had my aunt call it the curls, but it's really the sponge. I take the sponge in my hair. I'm about to grow that out. So I'm about to be looking like a crazy man, and I'm fine with that. And so I've been up all night. I'm working on that video. That's going to probably be the next video that drops, the P&B Rock. And then after that, I'll put together some topics. We got the Quinta. I always say her name wrong. Quinta. I hope I'm saying it right. Quinta Brunson story. I wanted to talk about that. Tim Norman's trial. I had some information about that. R. Kelly's trial. Really nothing there, but I did want to touch on that. Most of my conversation would have been about the Nicki Minaj and all these lawsuits. Nosy Ho, Jason Lee, Kimberly, so many different lawsuits. And I wanted to talk about that. And then I wanted to give a review on the talk shows, Jennifer Hudson and Sherri Shepherd, which, by the way, I really enjoyed Sherri Shepherd's show. Go look at on my community wall. I have the whole full episode, and she uploaded the full episode. I liked it so much to the point where I said I might be a fan just individually of her. Now, this is just the first show. I'm giving her the first show clout, but it was really good. It was engaging. It was funny. I didn't think she was going to give me that comedic relief, but it was funny. And I like how she's adding her own little thing to it. Like, she gave us some of the camera of the people getting out the car and coming in. I hope she keeps doing that. That little things like that helps us, brings the audience into the show. I like how she shared the Oprah stuff. I love how she engaged her audience and she went out on the road. So I'm giving her my best. I'm going to take all my because of Wendy off, and I'm going to give her best try. Like, girl, do your thing. Do your thing. I show it to her. Now I've been waiting to see what Wendy had to say. That's the biggest thing. I've been waiting to see, like, okay, what is Wendy going to say? So I'll put that in the upload. So all of those topics I'll put in the upload. Then we have some local story. We got the black teacher charging students $5 to bully a student. We have, what other story? We got this man. he was in a swamp. He got ate by some got his arm ate off by alligators for 3 days. He swam and ate mud, drank mud, ate grass, swam to the side. Finally, somebody saw him, called 911 to get him. I said, dog, that's a miracle. So we got a couple of other stuff. So I put all of that in. The Phoenix Suns owner. You remember, I don't know if y'all heard about that, but he was caught saying the N-word 5 times, and he was saying sexually inappropriate things to women. Now the N-word, I was zooming in on that. It was because he was repeating something someone else had said to him to other people, and they reported that. And so in that instance, this is what happened. So he's been fined $10 million and he's suspended from 1 season. So I said, wow, 10 million. That if they're going to fine you that much, you know they're paying you way more than that. 10 million must be nothing to you. So yeah, all those topics we'll put into a little something. So good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Brick Girl. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Boo Doo. Good morning. Good morning. Sherry show was pretty good, but Jennifer, yeah. See, you notice I ain't say nothing about Jennifer. I'm gonna wait till my review. I'm gonna wait till my upload. You notice I ain't say nothing about Jennifer. I'm gonna give her a 2 show. I'm gonna wait till the 2nd show to really say how I feel, but I feel like it's forced. I feel like it's forced, and I don't like forcedness at all. Like, dial back a little bit. Like Sherry, it just seemed like she was so happy and ready to do it. We felt that. I felt that energy. Jennifer made me sit. I kept sitting there like, you know, you ain't really like that at all. Hey, Kurt Vixen. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week is going well. Mine is going extremely well as well. So let's get into these topics. These 16. Again, like I said, we're gonna talk about these 16 signs that you need to grow the fuck up. And I hope that in the future, when I retitle this video, that children or teens or teachers are looking for signs that this video pops up. So let's explore them. What up, Nate? What up, Nate? Good morning to you, Nate. All right, so this first sign was, I'm glad it was the first one, right? So the first one, of course, the first one is, so this first one is you're always complaining. You're always complaining. You're always complaining. Now, everybody's a little guilty of complaining. Even myself, I'm a little bit guilty of complaining, doing the complaining. But when you become that person that's like got their fair share of complaining, it's almost impossible to want to be around you. So here's what they're saying about it. And I mean, if you recognize this in yourself, hey, mature people know the difference between being content with what they have and fighting for what they want. And they know the right time to do both. And they know how to do it in a civil and effective manner. Immature people are never happy with what they have, are always pinning after things they feel entitled to have, are never satisfied, and are always complaining about their circumstances. And that is so true. I'm 34, and I have people around my age who always find a way to complain about every fucking thing. And you know what I think? I always feel in that moment, you are so insecure about either being inept, the lack of that, you're complaining about it to find a reason to make it negative, make it not fit, make it not right. And you find that a lot of times with people, and it sticks with them as they get older and older and older. Instead of addressing it, you know, there's no need to complain, address it. Things that I complain about all the time is wait times. I'm huge. I'm not patient at all. I hate waiting. I be in the store and I hate waiting. Yesterday I was in the store just to return something because I'm already purchasing shit for my new place. Just to return something, and the regular return center is closed. So she was saying you got to go to the register, and I'm like, I have to wait in that whole fucking line just to return something. Baby, you know, I was heated, which caused me to sit there and complain the whole fucking time. And do I think it's immature me? Yeah, I think it's immature me, and it's something I gotta grow out of. But at the same time, I do recognize that I stood my ass there in the line and I waited to get my return, whether I complained or not. So this is something that I think we all should be mindful of, complaining. And it's so funny because I said when I was reading this, I said, oh, how many people I see in the YouTube world who do this, complain about every fucking thing just to find an issue in something, just because, just off of some shit. That shit is old and tiring. And as you get older and adult, people walk away from you. People feel like they need to pull back from you because your complaining does nothing but pull down energy. It doesn't make it fun. It doesn't make it enjoyable. And I even think about myself, when I was a young person, I used to always do complaining. And I knew my complaining came out of the lack thereof, what I didn't have. Oh, y'all want to go out here. That's going to cost too much, or this, that, and the third. And it was just because those simple reasons. Um, and now, as a 34-year-old man, I find it embarrassing to be complaining about certain things. And so it's another reason why you should grow up, because as you get older, your complaints need to become a little bit more legendary. Like, why are you complaining about a line, standing in a fucking line? Are you gonna stand in a line or you're not? So that's why I was reading this article. And so in my and for those who are just coming in the room, I found this article because I'm getting ready to do a little speech to 4 different classes, about this being their final year in high school and becoming an adult, going on to college, and what are some things that they need to walk away with from this year in their experience. And so I'm building my speech off of these 16 things. And so as I was reading it, I'm like, it relates to me, and I was like, let me share it with you all. And so that's why we're doing this. And so when I write this for the high school students, I first in this first statement, I tell them to find it always, before you make that complaint, find out what the counter is going to be. So like, before you complain, I don't want this, or I can't do that, what do you think the person on the other side is going to say first? Just figure it out. What are they going to say? You think they're going to be accepting? Do you think they're going to brush it off? Because that right there helps you de-escalate your next step. If you feel like you're going to get somewhere by complaining, okay, roam in the back off. But if you feel like they're going to jump, think about it. Think about it. Think about it as you get older. Think about, do I want to give energy to that shit? And so that's basically what I'm telling them. Like, focus on what you want to give energy to. And I provide some examples of myself. I asked them to raise their hands of how many people have complained once or twice today alone, have complained. And what I've been trying to figure out is, how can I make the question even more hidden? Like, how many people have, saw something that they didn't like and said it today, so that it catches them off guard and they don't realize that you are complaining. You're making a complaint about something you can't change or do nothing about, just to do it. Now, it's nothing wrong to be in your crib complaining. I've complained in here all fucking day long. I was complaining the other day because they're doing BG&Es out here doing the pipe and shit. No more parking on this street. I'm like, they just really don't want us to have fucking cars. I mean, this shit is out of control. Complaining all day long. I can't do nothing about it. All I can do is just go move my fucking car. And that's the grown-up way to think about it. But, we're human. I'm human. I'm going to complain, I don't walk around the world just mouth closed. I definitely complain. But I do think when you get older, your complaints need to become a little bit more and less petty. That defines you too. Because as you get older, the habits of your youth, you develop them, you refine them, and they follow you as you get older, you'll be less likely to be in your 40s and 50s carrying on of your youth. So that was one thing. You're always complaining. It's just a mental note. Just check it. Not saying that, just check it. Remember, I'm doing this for them. Now, number 2, you hate responsibility. And so immature people never want to be on the hook for anything, whether it's what they said, what they did, what they bought, what they were told to do, or whatever else. They never want to be bound by duty or obligation. They don't want to be liable for the well-being of something or someone else, and they're never open to criticism, regardless of how valid it is. When I tell you that number 2 was directly for me, that number 2 was directly for me. Now, it's not that I don't want responsibility. It's not that I can't handle responsibility. It's that I hate unnecessary responsibility. When I first got my dog, it was cute. And then by the 8th month, it was like, oh shit, this is really something else. This is something else. Which is a reason why, relationships, I can count on one hand of how many relationships I've been in, because I don't like to commit. That's a responsibility. That means I have to do this and that. I have to grow to want to do that with you. And in a relationship, I feel like you're already there and it's done and it's committed. And so, but as you get older, you learn to accept those levels of responsibility because you've practiced those things as you've gotten older. And that's one thing I'm telling these students is that learn to own your responsibility. Don't hate it, own it. No matter what it is, whether it's, you know, I didn't want to say child because I'm hoping these kids don't got babies. But whether it's children, whether it's homework, whether it's having to apply for financial aid, or put it in our terms as adults, whether we have to, you know for my case, I had to, get myself ready and prepared mentally that I'm gonna move now. It's not just one. I was telling myself I got 7 days. No, nigga, you ain't got 7 days. You got 7 days where you need to be in your new place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's layers to your responsibility, and just prioritize it. And I'm not saying that's the perfect route, because by all means, I'm a Libra by heart. We fucking hate commitment. We hate all of that shit. It tips your scale. You sort of want to be balanced on all playing fields. And when you have to give more committing attention to one thing over the other, oh my God, do you know how that throws me off? That's why I try to balance things out. And so it's always important to practice, practice as much as you can, owning your responsibilities, even with a job. When you get a job, yeah, we always say, and I say this too, I'm only here because I'm getting paid. And then, after 5, I'm out the door. Yeah, to a certain extent. See, when you start, as you get older and that salary starts to swell and that title gets a little bit more abbreviated, you can't do that. And so at that point, you should have learned what it is to be responsible for that, and that's why I go back to what Tyler Perry was saying: educate it and be credentialized before you get into a job. Don't just pick a black person. I understood what he was saying. Like somebody like me, or who's in this, I get that. But coming from him, it's a little entitled. But yes, as someone sitting in my shoes who isn't, you have to sort of understand those layers of responsibility as you go up the chain of command, because it's expected that you are being responsible for your job and your role, and sort of B, it's the environment of what you in. I can't imagine going to my job and all of us have to have a 7-page memo due to the VP of our projects we're working on by a certain time, date, and stamp. And Romans is the only one not done or incomplete or not as thorough because I waited to the last minute. I didn't own my responsibility. I didn't really say, hey, this is what I got to do. This is when it's due. Let me break this shit up. And you got to do that in your real life. You have to be responsible in your real life. And that's something I'm coming to grips with, even with my YouTube channel. I have to be responsible for providing content, whether or not I feel like it or not. And I just have to learn how to do it in a way that it works for me, my channel, the audience, and sort of why I came with the topic today, because this is what I felt comfortable talking about today. It's been on my mind. I've been working on this speech, and it's something I've been sort of committed to. So I felt compelled to share it. And being comfortable doing that is also a part of owning a responsibility. You need to be comfortable with the responsibilities you're taking on. Don't take on more than you can chew. And that's a part of me in this YouTube channel. I remember doing Culture, and I just laughed this morning. I said, I cannot believe I was doing Culture, recording almost 60 minutes of footage, editing that down to 40 minutes, and then uploading that. That was almost a 2-day process. By the time that got out, the news was old. And I was telling myself, I'm like, wow, and so you're growing with it, and having to understand that didn't work. But now I figured out how to do it and make it work. Now I can do an upload within like 2 hours, 1 hour of a story. I'm trying to get down to 30 minutes. It's all about building templates. And right now, I just don't want to tell y'all what I did. I updated my iPad. It deleted my apps. I had to restore. I'm thinking I can restore it back to the old version, but when you restore it, it deletes templates and everything from the specific apps. I was so mad. So the video I just put out for Jesse Powell, the template is totally different than the other ones. If you pay attention closely, you'll see little font and shit is different. It's because of all of that. But I still try to get the stuff out because I'm trying to be responsible for my channel. I'm growing up in this space. It's an adult move to make. And that's sort of what I wanted to share with them, that, and owning a responsibility, you also grow with it too, and it helps you achieve the next layer. Like, who knows what else is next after doing this channel and being responsible and doing it the right way and really putting in the work. Who knows what comes after that? But you'll never know if you don't try. And trying is a part of being responsible for something, trying to get it done, completing it. People say don't try, just do it. Well, you do have to try. Trying is the first step. I absolutely believe that. I hear people tell people that I don't want you to try to do it. Well, what, you want me just to jump in? No, let me try. Let me make an effort at this. And so, yeah, you hate responsibility. You need to grow the fuck up because it only gets thicker. All right, number 3, you keep repeating the same mistakes. And baby, how many of us is that applicable to? And so mature people understand that all humans make mistakes. That one big aspect of true maturity is being able to learn from mistakes and do better next time. Immature people either believe that they don't make mistakes or refuse to acknowledge their mistakes as something to be addressed. As a result, they never learn or decide to change ways. Instead, they live in them and fall back on empty phrases like, that's just who I am. And that's a big part of growing up, is learning that the mistake you made yesterday can only be prevented if you learn from it today. I always make mistakes. You're always gonna make mistakes, but it's learning from your mistake, no matter how big it is or how small it is. Even when you take your ass to jail or get arrested or are charged with something, yeah, it's a crime. You've been punished, but you can look at it as a mistake and how you are going to learn from it and move forward. The only person who can really put weight on any mistakes that you make in your life is you. Nobody can come to you and say, oh, that was a worse mistake, you can't come back from that. No, bitch, I can. you know um and don't be defeated by your mistakes either. Some of us get defeated by our mistakes. I know I've been defeated by so many of my mistakes. um you know I told you all this past weekend I had a gala for my job to attend, and my coworker who was planning this gala with her committee, which I wasn't on the committee, which is fine, they had assigned staff that was coming to the event to do certain roles. Now, this would be my second event working with her as the lead head. And on the first event, she assigned me to hold doors. And so I expressed to her after that event, I don't expect to be holding nobody's door or doing any of that moving forward in the future. And I said it like that, I didn't think like, no, 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 no. Well, this next event, she had me pinning ribbons on people as they stood up to receive their award, as their name was called. And what do you think I did before the event even started? I sent her an email because I sent her an email and I explained to her, should I read the email? No, the email was really, really bad. And I said, this is like, it's a pattern, and I copied HR on it. Well, when I got to the event, not only was they gave me a completely different role, front center, dead center, prominently placed, but it came with a lot of more responsibility. Now, the mistake I made there was not having a conversation with my coworker and explaining to her why I didn't want to do that. Because she thought that me being a male, I didn't want to be doing all of the registration and all. And then when I understood that, I said, "Oh, girl, I'm thinking it's racism. I'm thinking y'all trying to put me in the back. I'm thinking, and I want to be front and center in front of folks as well." And so after that conversation, then, but the damage was already done because I had sent that email and copied almost the entire staff, and I had implied that there may be some levels of discrimination going on here, and I think we need to fix it. Do you know how embarrassed I felt on Monday when the email went out from her thanking everyone, specifically thanking me, for supporting her? And I just replied to her and I said, I appreciate you for accommodating me and really understanding my request. And I apologize if I mis characterized what went on because I was embarrassed and I should have known better. Not every fucking instance and moment that I go through in my life is a racist moment when I'm interacting with white people. I always, but for me, that's something I have to learn as I get older. Not every instance. Now, there are instances, don't get it twisted. Like my TT will say, don't get it twisted. But in that moment, it was completely inappropriate for me to act that way. And when I say the damage is done, now what do you think the rest of the staff expects or sees now? Now it's on heightened alert. And I don't care. I'm glad everybody's on notice. That's how I feel. And don't make me feel like that. But I think it was jumping the gun and I think it was the wrong thing to do. And so the only thing I can do is move forward from that and express and learn that a conversation first before jumping off the deep end. Because even if it is, I can get that in the conversation and express myself. Now, if it's somebody I can't have a conversation with, well, the email permits still. But this was someone I could have easily had a conversation with. And pushing it back on these students here, just understanding that you are going to make mistakes, but you just need to know that when you make those mistakes, move the fuck on. What's next? And I equated, in my mind to when people in the beef sector, because the beef sector is a great example for this. People are always doing shit. People are always, it's always something going on, right? But I love the fact that some of the content creators have mastered it happened, I did it, and moving on. Because there's nothing that you can do that's going to change the fact that it happened. The only thing you can do is change your behavior and move on and move forward. And I believe that's the greatest example to set, especially in any virtual community. What you gonna come to my house and show me that you really are changing? No. And so I think it's a huge message in you can't keep repeating the same mistakes at all. Oh shit. Oh, listen to y'all in the chat. I didn't even know y'all was popping in the chat. Hey, teacher Shawan. Good morning, boo. Hey, Ashton. Good morning. What up, Thicky, boo? What up, Doctor On Site April? Newbie. Good morning, Newbie. It's so good to see you. Hey, boo. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming through. I have a 5-5-5 philosophy. How does this affect me in 5 minutes, in 5 days, and in 5 years? Pick and choose what you want to spend your energy and complaining about. Absolutely. My old boss, I love her to pieces. When she first came to my job, they fired the boss who hired me. I loved him down. He was my mentor. That's the white guy I'm telling you about who changed my life forever. I'm forever like thankful for that man. But they got rid of him, hired this new woman in who was supposed to fire me. We ended up having the best relationship ever. And she told me, she was like, yeah, they wanted me to get rid of you, but I mean, you're great. But in the midst of her getting to know me, she was trying to find some shit on me and fire me, right? So one day she was mad at me, called me in her office, went off on me. And I just looked and she said, and these were her exact words: now go in your office, have a 5-minute pity party, and then that's it. And I internalized that beyond her. I said, oh my God, because I'm not finna show this bitch face. I'm finna go down here and do the work because you're not finna fire me. But I did have a pity party in my office. And so I agree with you. You can't let shit dwindle, especially in the face of people who are doing it to you, the people who are perpetrating the behavior, because that's what they want. I'll never sit down in somebody's face and be, no. I'm not going to complain to you either. I'm just going to move the fuck on. It's a free world. And I'm not bound by anybody. Hey, Carrie. What up, boo? What up, boo? Miss Margot, thank you for coming through. Thank you all. I appreciate seeing y'all. I appreciate it. So 4, you always play the victim. Now, for an immature person, nothing is ever their fault. Anything that goes wrong in their life can be blamed, shifted to something else: traffic, their boss, their spouse, society at large, the government, world forces, the patriarchy. Taken to the extreme, immature people throw tantrums when playing the victim card just doesn't get them as far as they want. Now, how many of us know people who play the victim card really, really bad? And I'm gonna get a little personal. a little personal real quick, and I'm gonna come back out. But that was sort of the reason why I had a big issue with my mom. Whenever things would happen between me and her biggest recourse with me would be to tell me how hard things was for her in her childhood, how bad things was between her and her father and her mother, and so it sort of overshadowed how I was feeling in the moment or the story I was saying, and we never had any resolve. And it came to the point where I never wanted to share anything. I never wanted to talk about anything. I never wanted to say nothing because you weren't listening to listen to me. You were just trying to figure out how you can make yourself, you know, how this was going to appease you. And what I learned going through therapy was it's not even about that. What it is running away from and hiding from those feelings and emotions. That's an escape for people. When you get to play the victim, you're escaping from that very much so needed lesson or that conversation or those feelings or emotions that you need to deal with. And I do it all. I'm not gonna lie. I play the victim all the time. I play it, when I want to get something and I don't know how to get it the way I need to get it. Of course, I play the victim all the time. I play the victim in those cases, but I've never found myself playing the victim when it came to relationships or people. I don't know. I feel like my circumstances aren't equitable enough sometimes. I don't feel like, I'm going like, remember Tony and Desi, the mom that I helped out in December, and the daughter Desiree. Well, when me and her had our lunches and we would sit down and talk, she would always tell me stories. And I would want to sit there and be like, well, girl, but I was like, my story is not as nearly as bad as what you're going through. So let me shelve it. Let me listen and let me shelve mine. But there are moments where people just want to just pour out because and you sharing your story or you talking about something, you might be pulling something out of someone that they want to talk about and they don't know how to get it off your chest. That's why I say it's a cover up. It's a huge cover up for that deeper feeling, that deeper emotion. And when I recognize people are playing the victim with me, I let them talk. I used to say I was an empath, but I don't want to put that pressure on me. I don't want to put that responsibility on me. Um, so I'm a great listener. So when I'm sharing a story, I got a friend who's really good at this. I could be talking about X, Y, and Z, and then they'll all of a sudden, yeah, because, and it's like, go ahead, get it out, get it out. I don't know. I'm patient in that aspect. I feel like, people don't get that opportunity to get it out and get it out. I've played victim enough, and having a therapist to talk to allowed me to get a lot of that shit out. So it's like, okay, you know, but I do play victim when it comes to like, I'll be in the store. Well, I just bought this and I bought some shorts the other day, y'all, and the lady left the little sensor on the back of them, and the motherfucking thing, I didn't even realize it, and the thing cracked open and it's all pink, the pink ink all on the back of the shorts. So I go back to the store to tell the woman, and I had my receipt, but I didn't pull it out. I said, hey, y'all forgot to take the sensor off, and it went off. I didn't think she was gonna think I stole them. She instantly went, you stole them, here I go. Just because I'm a black man bringing this back, and I had the receipt in my pocket. I just wanted to go. I just wanted to play the victim. I just wanted to play the victim and see how far it'd get me. Well, no, I had to get a manager. As soon as the manager come, I pulled the receipt out. Well, why didn't you give me the receipt? Well, bitch, I was saying to myself, I wanted you to see how much of an ass you was making of yourself. So, there are moments where I play the victim, either to my detriment or not. But I think when you're dealing with people close up, you should be less of, as you're growing up, playing the victim, and more so expressing how you feel. And that's what I'm sharing with these kids, is these young adults. Just get it off your chest. The more you play a victim, the less you grow up, the less you really get that shit off. The more somebody else in your life along the way got to deal with that shit, and the less likely people will want to deal with that shit. How you can you imagine you 40 and you still dealing with some victim shit from your 20s, and so every time y'all have a conversation or something's going on, you bringing up some shit from your past and how it's making you feel. Now, unless it's something really traumatic, okay, but I'm talking about something just like, okay, can we get past that? An argument that you all may have had that really made you feel, I said, shut up. And now you feel threatened. And then you bring it up. Remember when you screamed at me and said, shut up? Okay. I've had that before. That's why it was an example. Okay. I get it. So, yeah, playing the victim. Um, you never leave your comfort zone. Now, this is so applicable to me because it's easier for me to stay in my comfort zone. It's easier. Now, this says maturity implies growth and growth implies change. In order to change, you can't just do the same things over and over again. Mature people are content with what they have and where they're at, but they still strive to stretch themselves. Immature people are complacent with their station in life and never attempt to do anything that might make them feel even a little uncomfortable. The clearest path to stagnant life is to always seek comfort above all else. And I mean, I think that's so important is to try to get out your comfort zone, not illegally, not, haphazardly, you going out in the world doing something crazy, but finding a way to just push it to the next level. You know, people can and that's another thing. People can recognize when you're in your comfort zone, when you've reached a peak at something. Oh, it's so noticeable. I don't, and I'm just going to put it on to the YouTube. It is so noticeable when you see content creators who are in their comfort zone, not going up, not going down, but just fine where they are because of their environment and they're comfortable in that. They find comfort in just being right there because if I move any further or do anything else, I might have to what? Compete. I might have to do something different. I might have to go that extra mile. I might have to do a little bit of work. And so you find that there are people who are comfortable. But my advice to those folks would be push yourself, do something, switch it up, do something a little different. Find that solace. And this is a young dude in the game saying that to reaching out, saying that to people who've been doing this shit for years and years and years, doing the same shit over and over and over because that's what they know. It's what got them where they are. But just so you know, eventually even that burns itself out. People peak, people get older, things change. Hopefully, you're not doing the same thing. Um, and then also to these young adults. I don't want to say children. To these young adults, you can't tell me being comfortable doing the things you were doing at 16 is okay when you become 17, 18, 19, and 20. You can't. And so if I'm saying that to them, I had to check myself and I had to start thinking about things that I was doing, years ago, maybe 5 years ago, that I find that I'm doing to this day, which is I haven't, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of the, it's not, and not saying that I don't, but a lot of those things are personal. But no, there's a lot. I try to push myself. I definitely in my work, and a lot of that has to do with my professional career. I always have to do something there, so it pushes me on the flip side. But don't be complacent. Always find something different. Even when, like me, even when you wake up in the morning, your morning routine, switch that shit up. You may do wake up in the morning and quickly go do something else, do something different. The other day, I told y'all I went for a run in the rain. Do you know how different and weird that shit was? It was real. I really didn't want to do it because I talked about people who run in the rain, and I'm sitting here like, here I go doing shit. But I enjoyed it. I don't think I'll do it again, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Was a different experience. It was something about in the morning. It was a different kind of vibe. I would have never known had I jumped out my comfort zone to try it. Try it. Don't be afraid. Even I had to tell myself that. Don't be afraid. Even this morning, saying I really don't want to do a hot topics. Yeah, I was really gonna force myself to come down here and do some topics that I wasn't into it. And so I said, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" I said, "I really want to talk about these things that I'm writing this speech for." I said, "Well, then just do it." And I said, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm doing it and I'm happy about it. And now I'm gonna do it again. And I thank all 22 of you all just being here listening to me have this kind of conversation because this shit matters to me. It matters to me. It's a self-reflection of myself, and anything I can help the news crew understand or what's going on in the world. I like to take a pause on hot topics and local news and share this kind of stuff. So thank you. I don't even be caring about views sometimes. I get satisfaction. You know what? I get satisfaction of putting that product together. When I see those videos put together and put out there, I'll be like, look at that work. And then seeing folks on Twitter, my one video got 21,000 views on Twitter. This is work. This shit is fun. It's engaging. And then oh my God, y'all, I always forget this. To y'all, and you know who you are, who send me cash apps, thank you so fucking much. I really do appreciate that. I don't even it'd be weird because they come different times. I don't even be on or around. I appreciate that. And all of that provides me the comfort I need. And so when I put all that together, I said, why not come down here? You don't really, you don't have nothing to lose. So thank you. And I would have never known had I not stepped out of my comfort zone, you know, even with my career. I went from Rochester, New York to Chicago for school, and then taking that big leap of faith was like crazy, but I did it because I was just adventurous then. And then coming from Rochester to this where I'm at for a job with no family here, I would have never did that, had I not wanted to take the next step. And I would have never, had I not did that, I've never been in this shoe, in this place, getting to know you all on a different level. So you have to take the chance. If you don't take the chance, you're not going to get to the next level or where you want to go. I constantly have to take chances all the time. I took that chance of saying that shit Saturday. Getting myself into that little embarrassing situation Saturday. And now I've learned from that. Had I not did that and saw a positive reaction, the way my coworker responded to me, literally, she was like, well, all you had to say was you wanted FaceTime with, because the mayor, the governor, all of them was there. Bitch, you got me pinning awards, girl. And as we were talking, I was like, yeah, I want to be up. And she was like, wherever you want. I felt so embarrassed because in the moment I couldn't tell her, I'm sorry that I alleged racism on your part in this email to the VP, all these people, HR on this email. I'm sorry. I went overboard. I couldn't do that in the moment. I just looked at her. I just was like, God damn, you be jumping the fucking gun. But because of her positive reaction, now I know moving forward of how better to handle that situation. I even take it to the beef sector. If it was not for Canola News pissing me off and me watching myself come back on this camera that day and drag or rebuttal to him, I would have never made the switch and say, that's no, hell no. I would have never did that. It took me seeing myself on camera like, wait a minute, what is going on here? So I'm not saying take negative things or do things that you don't, but when you do them, you either have a choice to make. Is this something I really want to do moving forward, or is it not? But that's the options you give yourself when you take a risk or you take a chance and not be complacent or stuck in your ways. I even, here's a personal battle of mine, and I'm letting y'all in on some shit. I wanted to stop smoking weed for at least a weekend. I can do a day, but by day two, yeah, I'm irritable as fuck. I'm almost intolerable to be around because it's like, oh, okay, I need a blunt. And so I wanted to do it for a weekend, but I can never get to that day. And as I was writing this speech and talking to myself, I'm like, yeah, but you just got to do it. You just got to fucking do it. And so it's even opening doors up in my life that way because, yeah, I'm a growing professional. I got some exciting news to tell y'all after I get past this hurdle I am, but I'm a growing professional. And as I get older, and the people on my level or around me, they're not smoking weed like I'm smoking weed. It's legal and shit, but they're not doing it as much as I'm doing it as a reason to cope with, not knowing how to deal with frustration or being angry and stuff. That's mostly why I do it. If you notice, I'm been sitting here talking to y'all. I haven't hit the blunt or anything like that because I'm not anxious or nervous or nothing like that or any that those that's my coping mechanism is to hit the blunt, because it helps me with those things. But I need to overcome that. I need to grow up. Hence, right? So that's why I was like, this article was so much about me. I recognize that about myself. I see professionals. I always look at, you know, these black men who are like CEOs and presidents of companies. I'm like, that nigga is not hitting a blunt like you. Now he might, but he's not. So get yourself to a point where it doesn't affect you in that way. While you can now, because when you 40 and 50 carrying that shit on, it ain't gonna fly. Now I'm at the age where I can, do it and manage my life and be on top of shit, but that shit slows down. And you still smoking weed, and and thank God I'm not a heavy drinker. Like, thank God that wasn't something that consumed my soul. Um, but the addiction gene runs in my family. My mom and dad were both addicted to drugs, and so that runs in my family, and I don't want that to be my excuse. So that's something I'm working on now. And to speaking to the youth, the young adults, um, I basically am, letting them know that it's so important for you to try new things and experience things, and why it's so important for you to travel outside of your state, which is why I'm pushing them to all go to college out of state by year 2. Like, my whole thing now is go to a local college if you can. Go to a 2-year college, because we make the mistake, and I made the mistake of thinking I need to go away 4 years of college, incurring all of this debt, and then changing my degree 3 or 4 times. I told you I was going to be a teacher, I was going to be in business, I was going to be in this. None of that shit is what I ended up with. So I advise folks, you think about your money wisely. Like, you gonna come out in debt? No. If you want to go to a community college to figure out what you want to do, I'm not telling people no, especially if it's free, and then transfer to finish your degree at another place. But make sure you get that experience of traveling. Push yourself. Go to another state you've never been. Being around other people and getting those experiences is what makes you a whole person. But it takes you having to push yourself and get out of your comfort zone. I got family. My cousin, she don't she don't really like to do too much outside her comfort zone. And I understand why personally, because I know her, but I'm always down for pushing her. Baby, let's go. Fuck these people. Because the more you get comfortable with fuck these people, the more it's easier for you to enjoy your life. And that's kind of what helped me come out of my shell. And, yeah, I'm gay. Oh, baby, I wish I had this when I was joining my fraternity. I had the, I went, I went through going Greek under the auspices. I was straight, had a whole girlfriend. She was pledging Delta at the same time. When I crossed, she was out there. And then it was like, I'm talking about 4 months after I crossed, all shit hit the fans. Oh, he's gay. She got mad at me, cut me off. It was just a mess. It was a whole mess. I think I told y'all this story before. It was a whole mess, But I wish I'd have been out of my comfort zone to express myself truly, because I would have never went through something like that. So we always learn 2020 hindsight, and that's my biggest point to them is express yourself. Um, let me see the chat. Oh, in the current climate that we're in, it's easy mistake. Give yourself a 5-second delay before you react to gather more information before you send the email. Okay. Good morning, Risa. Hey, boo. This has been a great live this far. Oh, thank you, Risa. Thank you. That one right there just touched me. Had this conversation with myself regarding my current career and future recently. Okay. Grand Rising, Zaire. What you talking about, man? Running in the rain is great. The fun part is all the strange things you get from people. Dry sex in the rain. You too. Have a good day. Miles, what up, Miles? Okay, listen, it's something I'm working on. It's something I'm working on. Had a discussion last night. Why is this banner still up? Okay. Had a discussion last night about content creators and cash apps and how they're hurting themselves over in the beef sector. Your subbies are afraid to divulge any. Baby, That's why I don't want to shop from certain people. That's why I buy stuff from certain people, because I don't got a PO box or nothing like that. So yeah, you're right about that. My aunt still smokes. She's in her 70s. Sis be chilling. I've met a lot of people that have never stepped foot out of their state. Me too. Me too. We spend so much time being concerned about what other people think, and that's why. And that is absolutely why. Hey, VMW. Hey, Roman, think you're a sweet client. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. Yes, he is. And his smile is contagious. Thank you. See, I have to remember that in my weak moments, like Saturday. I posted a picture of me out Saturday before the whole event started, and I was in a happy mood. By the end of the event, y'all, I just felt like egg on my face. My poor little coworker, she was definitely pulling her weight. Mind you, y'all, mind you, here's more of the reason why I felt like shit. She had just given birth to her newborn, which was only 2 months old. So she had just returned to work like maybe 3 weeks ago and took back over this project. So she was like, oh my God, I didn't even put that together. Of course, I would have put you. I'm sitting there like this. I'm like, all right, girl, my bad. I'm saying like, I owe you some. At this point, she's like, but she's been giving me the cold shoulder, and I understand. I would probably give me the cold shoulder too. Like, nigga, you were trying to get me fired. Like, what were you trying to intimate here? Like, what? So you out here eating chicken really when you really wanted a Subway sub? Mm-hmm. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Cash App and bullshit. So this next one, you live beyond your means. Now, this one is really, really important, and it's important to me too. Mature people are mindful of their finances and take care to live within their means. They don't feel entitled to luxury goods or services like buying the latest iPhone every year or leasing a brand new car every few years or buying expensive furniture on credit. Immature people not only feel entitled to these things, but drive themselves into debt chasing after them. When your checkbook isn't balanced, neither will be your life being balanced. It's okay to look for ways to live in a lavish life but still save money. Now, this is so important. And it is so important. I'm so glad that I get this chance to talk to these students about this, because the first thing I'm going to tell them to do is half of the shit that you see people that are wearing, or what they have, or all of the shit they got, it will never be the same way you attain it. Okay. When you first understand that concept, you will look at purchases different. Okay. The way when I go into a store and when I go buy something, my way of using the money will never be the same as yours. Never. You might have it to do so, I might not. When you literally break it down, like, that's why I never get jealous about people having shit or people having fancier cars, because I'm always saying in my mind, because that's what you wanted to do. That's your will. That doesn't mean that I have less than or more. I told you I go off on my older friends all the time. I was talking about, why you leasing? You should be owning. You should be owning. And I have to remind them, nigga, I can own. What I pay in rent is more than your mortgage. It's not about that. It's about what I can afford. I'm not gonna go take out a fucking mortgage from a bank in a place where I don't know if I'm gonna stay here for a long time, then be stuck having to try to sell this place to move. Either I don't know if my aunt gonna be. I don't know. It's a lot of factors that play on in my head. So no, I make decisions based on myself, my financial outcome. And when I make those decisions, I make sure they're the best fucking decisions. You can't even tell that it may be more than or less than yours. Like my new place, baby. Wait till I have my housewarming. Okay. I'm gonna have them bitches in there like, oh, yes. Why you talking about I need to go own a fucking property somewhere I don't want to, miserable just to get it? Cause no, I'm not on no. I don't move like that. I those days are over with. I buy what I want when I want it. I'm not carried by no labels. I remember for a long time my friends, the whole thing was Balenciaga sneakers. I was the only one who didn't get a pair. Then when they got out of that, I got a pair of Balenciaga sneakers. And then when they were wearing something else, the Christian Dior clear sneakers, I was wearing my Balenciagas. Because in my mind, like B say, she that girl, I feel like that about myself. I don't need nobody else to dictate what's in my pockets. You know what I'm saying? At all. I now preference is different. Like I prefer Target over Walmart. That's a preference. That ain't no because I want to spend more or spend less. No, it's just when I go into Target, I like their baby wipes much better than I like the ones at Walmart. When I go into Target, I can get the actual oil that I want instead of going to Walmart. I can't find it. When I go into Target, I don't have to call nobody to get me the Dove soap. You see what I'm saying? And you go into Target and Walmart, you got to call somebody to get you the Dove soap. It's a lot of different factors. But I think truly it's important for especially young adults because we're easily persuaded, especially these young adults here. They will be easily persuaded by the next man when they go on to college to do what they're doing and move how they're moving. But if you really understand that nobody can do anything the same, no one is doing nothing the same, the way you think about it, you really have to hone into that. You can't be Kim Kardashian. You can't look like Kim Kardashian. You don't got her fucking resources. You ain't got her team of people behind you. So why the fuck would you even try? That's like here on YouTube. I told y'all this before. I see all the larger content creators around me getting views and doing all that shit. But why would I compare myself to them? Some of them have been down here for a long time. Some of them have deep relationships. Some have been doing this from the days of just uploading videos before lives. I would be a fool to sit here and think that after a year, 2 years of doing this, I will get the same results. Now, some folks do. I still can't compare myself to them. I don't know what sacrifices or what resources they have. All I can do is work from what I got, and that's what I do. I got my channel, I got my editing software on my pad, I got y'all, and that's how I'm gonna work it. I cannot get stuck in, oh, you doing this, so you doing that. Even with topics, we people are gonna always cross topics. There's only so much you can talk about. I never get stuck on that. I always say, oh, they talking about that because you know why? Roman always will find another angle of the topic. That's my sort of suffice to that. Like, okay, I know everybody talking about it, but what can I find out about it? That's why I took the R. Kelly defense side to talk about it because everyone was talking about, sort of the prosecutor side and what was going on. Well, let's talk about what they're trying to do here, and I'm going to take that same approach with Tim Norman's trial as well. Hint, hint. That's what I'm working on, another project too. But yeah, never compare your. There's so many things you can work on your own. Be your own roadmap. There's so many angles. You know, I was telling myself the other day. I was like, when I get my new place, I said, y'all about to be mad because I'm about to be in the kitchen. Now I can show my kitchen off. This kitchen, no, we weren't doing that. That wasn't going to happen. But you see, had I been trying to compare myself to other people, and oh, they're doing this, so let me go and do it at the expense of me not feeling comfortable doing it in my kitchen. Fuck that shit. I'll wait. That's how you gotta be. Wait till you got your best. Wait till you can do it. Wait your time. If you're really hungry enough for it, it'll come. Things like that shit, it'll move. It will move. I never in a million years would imagine I would be where I'm at professionally, personally, all those things. Not that I'm doing great, but I'm far different than where I was 5 years ago. Um, and I oftentimes look back like, what a fucking fool. If only you would have known what you know now, you know? Um, but I can't compare myself to nobody but me. That was my route. That was my road. Nobody know the struggles and why I look at certain things the way I do. And I need to be happy about it. That's your path. Own your shit. The minute you start wanting to do or compare or keep up with the Joneses, you've lost your identity. I'm sorry, you have. That's why y'all I had to come out here and say I can't do that beef sector shit. I can't. That's not me. It's not that I can't do it. That's not me. I would be putting up a front because I can't fake beef. I have to really not like you to come down here and feel compelled enough to go off on you. Me doing that with Ken, that was because I was hot in the moment. Like today, I don't give a fuck. I could care less. Like, oh, okay, that's a lesson I learned. Me trying to, oh, you trying to keep up? No, nigga, that's not your curve. You more so about you got a whole nother route. Don't do that to yourself. I had to tap myself. Don't fucking do. That's why I came out the next day to y'all. And if you watch that live, I was like, y'all, what the what I do, y'all. News crew, y'all know next time double check me like Roman, what you doing? And best to believe, okay, y'all came through in the messages and shout out to you. I gotta give you a nickname because you know who you are. Thank you so much for your words. Um, but yeah, Don't find yourself comparing, trying to keep up, living beyond your means, trying to just to keep up and provide these unrealistic expectations. Do you know how fucking out of my mind, how sleepless I would be to feel like I needed to keep up with these content creators who drop content like soon as it comes out, or who have like, I was amazed that all these YouTubers had an interview with Candy. I was sitting here like, I wasn't mad. I was like, yo, I can't wait for my time to be in the mix like that. That's what I was saying. I got to get my shit up to a point where I get recognition like that. You know what I mean? Where I can reach out. Now, I told you I reached out to certain people, invite them to the channel and stuff, and I've been getting, the good and the bad, both of them. One is that I really need to build my channel up as a content generating, thing where I'm putting shit out, and also on multiple platforms. That was another thing. You can't just, if you're trying to grow, it can't just be YouTube. You have to grow everywhere else. And so, all of those things is things of growth, not to compare. How the fuck I look like DJ Richie Sky, which, I got a little, I'm gonna be in Miami. That's the Funky Geneva whole crew. They all down there. Um, how could I compare to him? He got Candy on there. He's been, first of all, his channel's been talking about that, built around it. There's some recognition around it. I don't have that yet. You heard me say yet, because baby, that's where I go in my brain for myself. That's where I want to get to. And so we all need to take that approach for ourselves. When you see somebody with some shit you want, don't be like jealous or competitive. Maybe that works for you and it helps you get further. For me, it don't. It motivates me. I'll be like, look at this shit. Look at you. And sometimes I drop down like, go on, congratulations, yo. Get that shit. I'd be happy for folks because I know, at least in my life, it's worked like that. If I put enough heart and soul and hunger and work into it, I get what I want. Oh, it happens. I get what I want. I get what I want. Y'all know how long I've been telling y'all about, oh, I want a guy I can do all these lovey-dovey certain things. Why are we planning a camping trip? Now, how long I've been telling you I want to date somebody that I just want to go on a camping trip? Been doing everything, but it's patience and it's not comparing, and it's just being in your own lane and own zone and find comfort in that. We're all different. We're all weird. Celebrate your weirdness, celebrate your uniqueness. And that's one thing that I put in my speech, and I'm not done with it. But as I'm talking to y'all, I'm thinking about stuff to add to it. But celebrate your weirdness, not the freaky shit and not the crazy shit or illegal shit. I have to disclaimer, I need to make sure I add that. But celebrate the thing that makes you you, whatever it is. Because when you start removing that so that you can be like somebody else, you no longer have an identity. You're not Roman no more. You're Roman that, celebrate it, and I try to be very unique and celebrate the little things about me. And I think we all should get in the habit of doing that. And the more you do that, the less likely you find yourself looking at other people and idolizing them. That's why I used to be like, oh, I love this person. Child boo. Everyone gets fair treatment because I'm not enamored by what you can do for me. I'm more so enamored by what I can learn from you. And I took that same approach with the folks who came to my channel when I did the whole Beef Sector Run It Back show. It wasn't about, oh my God, you about to bring me views and shit. No, it was all about, we about to put on a good program so that we can talk and break this shit down. That was my focus. And I wanted to do that so bad again, but I just can't, I can't move like that. I cannot, it's almost like you playing with people. I can't play with folks like that. Because if I'm going to play with folks like that, you got to be expected to be played back. And that's the part, and if it was just for the news crew, just for y'all, I would, hell yeah, I would, but it's not. It's a whole sector of folks. And there's certainly a lot of things I want to talk about. But that's for another day. But yeah, that helping me understand that that's not my lane. This is my lane. Operate in my lane. It's sort of is my guiding principle. So that's something I wanted to share with them. Living beyond your means. Do only what you can, and so that you can be debt free. Now, You never make sacrifices. And this is really important because in everything that you do that you want to achieve and accomplish, there's always going to be a sacrifice to be made, no matter how big or small it is. Now, what they're saying is mature people understand this very important truth. You can do anything you want, but you can't do everything you want. We all have infinite wants and desires. The mature person understands that time and resources are finite in life. As such, they prioritize the various things in their life and learn to sacrifice the lesser things. The immature person is unable or unwilling to give anything up. Now, y'all know I did that morning show. You know, I said that because it don't feel the same, but I did the morning show from January all the way to July. That was January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That was 6 months. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 a.m. Having to start the show and prep the show around 4 a.m. to have a show by 6:30 a.m. A 2-hour show. That sacrifice there was sleep. I literally on Sunday nights wouldn't sleep, and on Tuesday nights going in a Wednesday show, and Thursday nights going in a Friday show. But I did that shit. I did that shit. I may have cut it short and I'm still trying to keep it up, but I did that shit. That was a sacrifice. That was my biggest sacrifice that I made for my channel, keeping up that fucking commitment. That to me was like, whoa. And I saw the fruits of it. Baby, I saw it. Yeah, I saw that shit. I learned from it. It was so much. It was a great experience. And you have to be willing to make sacrifices in everything you do, in order for me to have the kind of job or work where I do what I do. I have to make certain sacrifices. I have to bring work home. I have to work from home. I put some of my some grants up there sometimes on the screen, and then I write grants here, or I go work at my little work desk area. I write grants there, but I have to bring some work home. That's part of the sacrifice of me being someone who can write $1 million grants. You can't. I'm gonna tell you this now. Anybody who tell you they can bring in 1 million or more to an organization, they are working from home. I used to be like, I ain't bringing work home. I do no, nigga, no, nigga, you are, and that's the sacrifice. People won't tell you that, and y'all don't know what these celebrities and people that you am enamored with, what they're sacrificing. You just don't know. These content creators, you don't know what they're sacrificing to be where they are. Anybody you see who go live every day, for lengths and periods of time every day, there's a sacrifice there. Whether you see it or not, there is. And whether they will tell you it or not, there is a sacrifice. Something is being sacrificed to keep that up, whether it's successful or not. It's a sacrifice. And that's one thing we have to determine, first, A, are you willing to make a sacrifice? And then B, what are you going to sacrifice? What are you going to sacrifice? And sometimes that choice isn't yours. It isn't yours. It's simply by nature of what you are choosing to do. Me doing sort of getting into my YouTube channel, my sacrifice is having sort of a my personal life. I've now had to be recording and live with y'all with friends or people around who stayed the night. Wasn't at first I was like, I don't never want people to see me record or do this, but I had to. There's times where I'm going out Sunday night and a friend might want to get on the couch. Yeah, you don't got to drive home. I'm closer to you can sleep, and then 6:30 roll around, you still on the couch. I got to do my show. This is a sacrifice I got to make. You just gonna have to, I got to do my show. Those are, little sacrifices that you have to make to upkeep whatever it is you want to upkeep. And you have to be consistent about it. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna do it for this and I don't do it for that. You have to keep that going. You have to keep that up. You really do. And the burden of the sacrifice shouldn't be more than the burden of what you're trying to do. Like, you shouldn't have to hurt nobody to get something done. The burden of hurting someone is way much more than the burden of whatever you're trying to. You have to look at that as well. That to me sounds like some crazy shit. If you have to go far out for a little bit of something, so that's something else you got to think about. And that's all a part of growing up. And so what I'm gonna tell these young boys and girls is that when it comes time for you to engage yourself in something, an activity, a sport. Let's say you want to join a fraternity or sorority, or you want to go out of state, for really understand what you're giving up. Like, is it a problem that you're not going to have your close friends around you and you got to start making new friends? Is that a problem for you? Is that you're willing to give that up? Then okay, you can move forward and accept it. If that's going to be a problem for you, you need to address that before you get to it, because those are sacrifices that you have to just, and I know a lot of people who are afraid to leave home because they won't have mom and dad and they won't have family and friends. I know a lot of people who are like that, but you have to be willing to make those kind of sacrifices related to these young adults. And also, you got to be willing to make a sacrifice on, do I want to get good grades or do I want to be popular? That's going to be a sacrifice. They can't be the same. You can't get good grades and be popular. I don't care who tells you that. I done been to school, up and down school, in every fucking activity. And whenever I was being popular in a semester, my grades suffered. Whenever I fell back, when I was online pledging, I mean, when I was when I was going through my intake process, my grades were on point. So you have to walk that fine line. And what I'm gonna tell them is, you need to start off with 100% focused on your grades, because by the end of your 4 years, you're going to tip that scale. You're gonna gain a level of popularity. You're going to gain a level of notoriety on campus or wherever you are or whatever you do. The longer you're in it, so why not jump in 100% and then let that time wear it down? That way, you start on a good foot. You got a good routine going. That memory of when you first engaged it completely through was good. That's sort of reason why I feel like it's important for you to do hard work, like learn how to put a video together if you are a content creator on YouTube, because a lot of that, you learn a lot from that. You learn a lot. There's a lot of skills that you learn in that, and you also understand what you're sacrificing. You understand what the biggest gain and what the biggest loss might be. So that's what I'm sharing for them. Now, this next one, you bring others down to lift yourself up. Now, let's take this out of context of the virtual world, because we know that's something that runs rampant online. But what it says is, real maturity involves confidence that doesn't depend on what others think of you. There's a sense of self-assurance that comes with true maturity, and this self-assurance comes from understanding that everyone has equal dignity and value as humans. Immature people think that life is a hierarchy where some people are better than others, and subsequently think that bringing down someone else is an effective way to lift themselves up to a higher level. Now, this one is rather important. And let me pause right there, because I see these comments and I just want to get to y'all for real, for real. What are we talking about? Oh, we talking about 16 signs that it's time that you need to grow up. I'm doing a speech to 4 classrooms of students. It's a bunch of us who are going to give speeches to these 4 schools, and we've been divided up into these 4 classrooms. And the topic is, what should your takeaway be from your last year in high school, moving into college? And I came across this article that was written August 18, 2022, and it was more so for adults between the ages of 25 and 35. But I'm repurposing the article and writing it into a speech for these kids, these young adults, anywhere between 16 to 18, no older than that, as some signs they should take away from it. And I wanted to share it with you all this morning. Hey, Sophia, good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm mindful of my coins. I always plan all my money down to, I really just recently got to that point where I'm like, okay, like when I had to stop paying my car note, the money that I was paying for my car note, I was doing an automatic deduction out of my account. I just signed up. I just switched that automatic deduction from pulling it from my check into my savings every time I get paid. So that's all. That's 200 coming out. That's like I'm still paying a car note for my next car, and that's why reason why I be sitting there like, I don't want a new car. I just love it. Keeping up with the Joneses will make you broke. Mods, y'all going to the housewarming? I'm down to go. Send me the Addy. Okay. Here's we go by the spirit. A fool and his money shall soon part. Right. My mother always tried to get me to buy a house, but I want to move out of state. I'm so Miles. it's like I'm not gonna make a permanent decision like that, and my mind isn't clearly set. I want to clearly know and be set on what it is that I want to do. I wouldn't be caught dead in Walmart. It literally sucks my life force when I answer. You sound like me, baby. It was a time when I went in Walmart one time, and I made it past the produce because I was going to the paper towel aisle. I made it all the way past the produce, past all of the aisles to the back where the pot was, and I grabbed the paper towels. By the time I turned around and saw the quick aisle line all the way back, I dropped them fucking paper towels right there and walked out. I said, I'm not doing this shit. Fuck this shit. I get sick of this shit. I feel like they do it to us on purpose. What up, man? Good morning. Good morning. It is horrible. Say, Nikki, I will find the nearest headband Target before going into Walmart. Tracy, hey boo. Good morning. Sorry, I had to pop off for a minute. Good morning. Hey boo. You all right? You good? You Gucci? Yeah, please don't beef. I like you just thank you. That it was a hard truth to come to. Yeah, stay true to yourself. I always found it strange. How do you have a beef with someone that you don't know and that they really don't affect you? And see, that was the biggest thing for me. Like I rumble. It's not a problem. But see, when you have to fake it and just come up with shit just for it, I don't feel it. It's not in me. I'm just now talking shit. It's like, and I don't hate no one down here that point for me to be doing it. How I go on these perpetrators and these stories. Yeah, I like that. But just to be on some random like, fuck you, bitch. Nah, I just I don't know. It's not. I don't, and it's contradictory almost because I'm not in. That's not in my spirit. Now if you trying it, I'll probably ask you like for real, because I don't even take that shit serious. How you trying it and you half slow? So no, I don't take that serious. And a lot of times, some of the content creators who are engaging in it, even though it's entertaining, I do enjoy when they show those more adult sides and they're having more common conversations about everything going on in their lives. I be in Lady Nika's bushes. I have been a lot this past week because she's been having conversations just about her own shit going on in her own life, and I find that entertaining because I get to know you, and it sort of gives us a reason on past behavior. Like, oh, okay, I got it. She was saying something the other day. I gave you my face to kiss and my ass to kiss or something. I was like, wow, And so I find that to be a little bit more engaging. And I said, well, let me double down 100% on that, versus having to be mean and malicious because it's not in me. I'm sorry, call it what it is. I'm still a man, still a nigga, still all of that shit. I don't make me weaker or nothing than that. It's just not. And then, I ain't gonna bring her up, but I'm just gonna say this because I know I saw your video. I definitely got the subliminal message in between. And listen, I'm not trying to. It is what it is. Feel how you want to feel. I watch you. I don't have no ands or ifs or buts about you. I just don't. I'm not in. It is what it is. Talk your shit. Do you? I don't have a problem with you. I think you want to know why am I here? I'm here because I want to be here. And why the people in the beef sector? Because some of them I like. And why have I chosen to hang out or be with some of them? Because I chose to do that. And there's gonna be more. And it sucks that you think that there was some hidden agenda, but it isn't, and it'll never be. And as I said before, I'll never turn my back on those folks or say anything. You'll never catch that out of me. I'm respectful. That's the difference. I'm not just tolerant or tolerate folks. I'm respectful of them. I've never, and you'll never catch me being shady to folks that I really, really, truly enjoy down here. No, I wish I could share, but one of y'all favorites, we had a whole 3 to 4 hour conversation, good ass conversation. Oh my God, I talked about everything but y'all, but the beef sector. Great conversation, great conversation. I learned so much from y'all favorite. My fave too. I always found it strange. However, that was a good drag. Hey, Tracy, I was so embarrassed by it. And I just told y'all that week that my TT had just got the link to my channel. And 2 videos in, she see me doing that. And she was like, really? That's what you be doing over there? And I'm like, oh my God, cut it out. So you notice soon after that video, I tried to rebrand everything on my channel. Different thumbnails, I try to get as far away from that as possible because that's not me. How I'm gonna be out here talking to these kids about being the best that they can be in their life, and I'm carrying on like this on YouTube, or how I expect to send a demo reel of me having these conversations about local news and hot topics from Vibe, Complex, Gossip, all these sites saying, hey, let me be a reporter for your page. But they got blemishes of me doing that on my channel. It don't work. It don't add up. It don't. No matter how hard I want to try it, no matter it, just the math ain't there. The math ain't mathing. It's not there. The ones and the twos ain't adding up to the threes. So that was a very hard decision I had to make. Like, I want to so bad, but no, and you got to make those sacrifices. Most of them are full-time YouTubers, though. It's hard to have a 9 to 5 and be on top of news like that. Yeah, I was having a conversation because I had literally had to ask one, like, how do y'all do this? I know I learned the trick. I learned a couple of tricks of the trade. Thank God some of them feel compelled and they don't mind sharing. And that's how I learned how to do thumbnails with the cutout of people's faces. I had to ask somebody, like, how are y'all doing this shit? Because I know all y'all ain't masters at graphic design. It's like, oh my God, just go to Canva. So for those content creators who want to know how to do it, cut it out, go to canva.com, and it's great. You do all your graphic design there for all your thumbnails. That's what I use. But because I'm one of those people who like to get all the features, I subscribe to it and I pay a monthly fee for it. And so it removes backgrounds, it does it, everything you need to do. Canva.com. Somebody put me onto that, and I was like, you know what, your ass been holding out. It'll make your thumbnails the perfect size. It do it all, and then it creates templates. So all my thumbnail templates are there. All I gotta do is pop out pictures and add one in. Pop one out, add one in. Stuff to help the community out. It's time to that kind of shit. Love it. But I do hope that one day, eventually, that I can turn my professional career into full-time consulting, and that will give me more time to spend on my YouTube channel and being a content creator, commentator on local news and hot topics. And then with my Twitter, sort of become a social media influencer there, where I can sort of talk about catchy topics and trend and bring attention to stuff. Because as much as I like to talk about hot topics, I love to let people know what's going on in the world. That's just my tick. Like, do you know? Oh, okay. So that's my plan. See, that's my goal. It's like I had to figure that shit out. I would love to see a Roma and Bondi Blue collab. I'll be watching Bondi. Oh my God. When I tell you I'm just trying to get my channel up to par so I can connect with some of these great ones. You know who else I want to connect with? Make It Make Sense. I reached out to him. He already gave me, a response. Hopefully in the future, y'all gonna see me and Make It Make Sense. Who else? Oh, it's a couple other folks. I don't want to say and miss a name. I even reached out to Lovely T and got a response. Okay, when I tell you I've learned now what I got to do to my channel to actually be able to ask someone on those levels, hey, now Lovely T was like, I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I will take a look at your channel and give you a little bit of feedback if not. And so still waiting on the feedback. I like that. You get on here, do your thing, then go live, live your life. Never let YouTube consume your life. Yes. Oh my God, that is so true. Your uniqueness. So important. That part. Exactly. I love my difference. Okay. Queen Diva. Good morning, boo. Good morning. Yes, get it right. No pledging. Okay. Are these city school kids you'll be talking to? Yes. They'll be city school kids. It is draining. Plus, words have consequences. Yes, they do. Say names. Should I say a name? I mean, I think most of y'all know it's a female. Okay. And she don't like us. Okay. I don't give them kind of people my energy. That's understandable. Actions have to be aligned with the end goal. Definitely makes sense. All right. You bring others down to lift yourself up. Now, was that the next one? Yes. So you bring others down to lift yourself up. I mean, this one is pretty much self-explanatory. And it's one of the biggest things that I think people have a hard time with growing up. When we make those sly little remarks, I do it all the time. I'll be in the mall and I'll see somebody or see something, and instead of just walking past, I gotta go ahead and say or to myself. I don't say it out loud, like, you really out here in these shoes and shorts? Oh, okay. And it's like, why am I doing that? Am I being mean just to be mean, or is there really a reason? Like, did you want to have shorts and sandals on? Why are you calling attention to his shit? And I check myself about that. That's why it's very rare you'll catch me on my community wall downing other people's either channel or anything like that. I'll never do that because I don't want the tables to turn, and I don't have to bring someone down to necessarily get the point across. Sometimes I might share somebody's stuff and just put an exclamation point, like, go check this out. And I let you be the judge. You'll never know because it's not necessary. The minute I'm going to tell you this, and it's all about energy, and I'm telling you, if you've never read the book, I'm in my pajamas too. Yeah, because the thing is definitely thanging. Let me where is the where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where my book at? Oh, if you ever get a chance, go get this book, please. The Alchemist. Go get it. It's such an amazing book. I mean, literally, it's such an amazing book. Um, and it specifically talk about universe conspiring to get you what you want. You just have to walk into it. You literally have to walk into what the world is conspiring for you to do. And a lot of that takes putting out good energy. Like, I'm gonna walk this way and I'm gonna put out good energy. I want to climb this ladder in my career. So that means I need to go in here. Hey, you all, be willing to engage, to be fresh. If you don't put that kind of energy out, you know what's gonna come back to you? Ugh. And you oftentimes you got to look at how people treat you. How am I being treated is a direct reflection of how I'm treating others. And if you find yourself oftentimes criticizing people, putting things down, complaining, some of the shit we talk here, you'll probably think you live a miserable life or wonder why you are isolated or not as happy as you want to be. And it's not too late to fix that stuff. It's not. It's just someone has to call attention to it, or you need to recognize it in yourself. It's not always good to live in a place of criticism because you don't know who you're impacting. And then when the tables are turned, it doesn't feel good to be the one getting criticized, or it doesn't feel good to be the one, on the end of the stick. And I know, some folks probably like, nobody ever wants to be the nice guy. There are moments where I talk shit and be like, with my friends and shit like that. Yeah, but there's a time and a place for it. It's not when I do that, it's never meant to hurt the person. It's literally meant for commentary between me and my friend. You see that? What the fuck you got on? But I'm not gonna get outside and be like, yo, what the fuck you got on? What am I doing that for? I'm a grown ass man. I really don't care once we get out this car what anybody else got on, but what I got on. You have to have that kind of attitude. It ain't that I think I'm better than, but I'm older. What the fuck I give a fuck about what you got on, unless you one of my homies and you out here looking homeless. Other than that, no. But I did used to be like that. I used to be a catty little boy talking shit and all of that stuff, but it gets me nowhere. And I started getting older mentors in my life, and they started rubbing off on me how people treated them, like with esteem and prestige. They would come in and, oh, hey, that kind of what they were getting, I wanted that. And I realized in order to get that, you had to carry yourself a certain way. You had to present yourself, not be inauthentic, but you need to pull out the finer sides of yourself. I remember my mentor, Sean Harnett, I told you, the co-founder of KIP DC, told me one thing. We had dinner one day in DC, and I came to dinner. Now, mind you, he's a professional, blah, blah. I had on a button-up shirt, but it was buttoned to here, and I had on some tight, they weren't tight, but they were fitted, and some pants. I thought I was looking good. And he was telling me, I was telling him, yeah, I'm ready to make this next career move, blah, 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 this and the third. He was like, you know what your biggest problem is? You're too sexy. You're too overly sexual. You need to tone it down. And when he said that, I'm thinking, like, you just hating because your ass. That's the first place I went, because why you fucking hating? But I understood. When I walked away, I understood what he meant. I understood exactly what he meant. That was a part of me growing up and getting older. Like, yeah, you can't do all of that. This, what you're giving at this place right now, this is you can't give that. You have to grow up. And this was when I first moved to this area, coming from Rochester here. So yeah, that was a great lesson, because I was like, oh, okay, let me tone it down and pull it back. So, part of it is learning to understand that if you are bringing other people down, you're also lifting them up at the same time. It's nothing like you giving somebody some criticism about themselves, but at the same time, you're not helping feed them, bring them back up. So, and I also try to think about that myself. And it's hard to explain this to the young adults because they're going to criticize each other. They're going to talk about each other. That's going to happen. But you need to be mindful of how does it feel when it comes, the tables are turned. You're going into new territories, new environments. Be mindful. Is this the kind of way I want to be treated? And then proceed. Um, you have no sense for social etiquette. Now, this one sort of me. When you're used to your own way, you're used to certain things, you don't really understand what it means to be social. Now, what they're saying is maturity is understanding that humans are social creatures, and this means that socialization is important. It's one thing to eschew certain social structures or traditions, and it may even be acceptable to live as independent thinker in your own way. But that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. As a member of society, the mature person treats everyone with the same respect and dignity that he'd expect from others. And that is absolutely true. And I just to sum that up, you literally treat everyone with respect. Literally treat everyone with respect in the way you want to be treated. Because even trying to follow social norms, it may not be the way you want to be treated. So I think you should be very mindful of what am I doing to this person, and which will cause them to do what to me. Like there's always a give and take, a cause and effect reaction to everything. If I do this, you're going to do what to me? And it's important to internalize that everywhere you go, because moving to state, every custom is different, everybody is different. You can't just assume your way of thinking or your way of carrying on is the way all the time. That's like me kikiing at work. No, they will never see me kiki at work. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What? No, I'm completely Mr. Jackson at work. There's none of that going on. My earrings are all off. All that is gone, because at that point, it's all about my job. Nothing else should impact that. And so just being mindful of your own surroundings. Now, the 10, your word means nothing. If you say you'll do something, you do it. If you say you believe something, you live by it. If you say something to someone's face, you mean it. That's called integrity. And it's an important element of maturity, one that's slowly deteriorating in this day and age. Unfortunately, the mature person understands that words, actions, and beliefs are all intimately related. The immature person says whatever they want to say without any weight behind their words. And this is true. And this is why the difference between someone who is mature and immature, they're able to tell you or be very effective in communicating with you on what they can and what they can't do. And even myself, I had to get better at that. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go live here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this video. And now that slowly changed to me explaining to you all, like, listen, I'll go come live Wednesday, but I don't really sometimes always want to talk about those things. That's being effective. That's communicating. That's not bullshitting. That's offering a level of credibility so you all understand where I'm coming from. I think a lot of times we feel like once we do it once, we can get away with it. And it becomes a slippery slope, a very dangerous slippery slope to constantly put forth energy and say certain things, and then you never follow up on it. That's a lot of times why I engage in voluntary activities after pledging my fraternity, and I kept it going in my life. Every year I pick an organization and I volunteer with the organization a minimum of 6 times out the year. This year is with the Maryland Food Bank. You all know I've been back and forth with the Maryland Food Bank. We actually are gearing up for Halloween, and it's a commitment. It requires me to be involved. It requires me to voluntarily show up. I'm not getting paid for it. There's no impact on my life other than I feel good. And that right there teaches me to just constantly commit myself to something. And I purposely try to stay committed with that. Now, they had 2 events that they had us sign up for that over these last 3 weeks that were I just could not do. There was no way that I was going to be able to make it and work full time, because a lot of their shifts are during the day, 9 to 12 or 4 to 5 or 12 to 5. And sometimes I'll do the 12 to 5. And so it's just always understanding and being mindful of what you're saying, what's coming out your mouth, and everybody's watching and everyone's listening. And it's surely the mark of effective and mature person, someone whose word is credible. You listen to what they say, who can provide meaning, facts, and context. Um, and that's one thing I'm stressing to these young adults is that mean what you say, but also understand what you say. Because I think when you understand what you say, it's easier for you to follow through. When you just be out there, yeah, I'll do this. And do you really understand what it takes to do that? Oh, okay. Because once you understand that, it'll be easier for you to follow through, or frankly say, no, I can't do that. That's why I'm like, okay, I got to think about that. I never give someone ask me on the spot some question that you want to do it again. I'm like, I got to think about it. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. I'll be like that or something, because I hate being the one that, no, I can't do it at the last minute, which was the story of my life for like 2 years straight. And that was just because I was depressed. I didn't want to deal with nobody. Um, 11, you haven't changed in the last 5 years. I mean, I think this is pretty self explanatory, especially for these young adults. I'm going on 35 this year. I'm nowhere near where I was when I was in my 30s at all. And I think in a great way, in a positive way. I don't think I'm nowhere where I was in the 30. And that's the person you compare yourself to. Why everyone wants to compare themselves to this person and that person. Compare yourself to where you was yesterday, the month before, last week. I always do that. Like, okay. Like I was telling myself the other day, I said, okay, all right, we're on a good page. Job good, new place, new car, all that good stuff. And so I think that's most important here is looking at your own self and saying, hey, what changes have I made and what changes do I need to make within the next 5 years? And don't get caught lacking. Anybody can get caught lacking. Them 5 years can go by and you can look back and have not done a damn thing with your life, not accomplished nothing, not gained any assets around your name, anything. Or you can be complacent, stuck in the same place, doing the same shit. You haven't met no new people in your life. You're still doing no new adventures, nothing like that. It's almost important to examine your life and say, what have I done that's different? Honestly, I don't, unless you're like completely bed rest or you're completely vulnerable population. I think you should always be trying to change and be better and get involved and do things. Um, uh, it's a boring life when you just do the same shit over, eat the same shit, and be the same way. That shit is boring as hell. It's boring. Been there. 12. Now I can't relate to this, but you can't hold down a job. Now I don't know. That might be more depression, but I definitely think it's important that people be able to hold a job down, which goes right along with responsibilities. If you're not able to handle and manage responsibilities, it would be hard for you to be able to manage a job, let alone a career. Having a job is one thing, but having a professional career is something that you have value in. What you're doing, where you value the work because it's producing something impactful for you versus I'm going to get a check. And so I definitely think that having a job is a sign of maturity and growing up. And I don't care, something just flashed my mind. I don't care how eligible anyone is for any kind of governmental assistance. I do think having a level of work ethic goes a long way. I absolutely do. Call it what you want. Um, your friends have outgrown you. And that's a biggie. If you look around, and you find yourself the last man on the totem pole or the only one that's still struggling or not doing this or not keeping up, that's a clear indicator that, you might be falling behind in some ways. Everyone, along your friend line have moved up in their career. That might be a sign that, hey, what are you doing in yours? Now, you might not have the same career occupation, so it might be a different climb, but at the same time, those are subtle signs. It was a subtle sign for me in Chicago. That's why I got the fuck up out of there. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I woke up a December morning and said, yeah, it's time. And I packed my shit, called my best friend, said I'm moving, and was gone by January 1. I had moved up out of there and got a job by February. I was chilling for a whole month, just missing my family and shit back home. So it's, I mean, I don't know how important it is to you all, but definitely use your friends and your environment as a marker. Like, am I moving forward? Now, this isn't to compare yourself at all. Don't compare yourself in a way that may put you down or may decrease the value you have in yourself. But simply it is that your friends can outgrow you, just like you outgrow clothes, or you can become the one that's outgrown simply because you falling behind. And that is a negative, that is an adversary to you not taking responsibility, or you being complacent, or you lacking the social etiquette. You Friends will walk away. I've had it happen. Trust me, I've had it happen, and I've walked away from people. Shit, I've walked away from people on YouTube that I felt like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna do this. I want to go that way. I see what you're doing, and it's great and fine, but I remember engaging with the content creator when I was doing the beef sector stuff, and at the time, this person was like, "No, I don't want to do that," and then now I see that's a part of their thing, and I'm like, "Wow." And I feel like I've outgrown those individuals, because whether views or not, but I just feel like I do. I've achieved what I needed. I've done that, and I've realized that that's not who I am. And I think people will in time figure that out for themselves. But it feels good. I'm gonna tell you, I did it. I got that 10K Tisa video, 1.4 in the chat. That shit feels good. It feels amazing. But when the dust settles, it gets a little bit different. And so, you literally have to find yourself um saying, hey, okay, I can't do that. It's, gotta move on, gotta move. And it's not a bad thing, no disrespect or nothing like that, but it's sort of like, okay, let me take a pivot. The actions have to be aligned with the end goal. Yes. Oh, that book was recommended to me before. It's so good. It really is. The Shift of Living in Positivity was a hard but awarding change on my end. So much goodness has come into my life. Isn't it just and that's really what it was about. Thinking positive about certain things that go on, or certain things that you do and invite into your world. So true. I have to look at myself if I have a lot of negative things to say. Yeah. Oh my, I'm worse on it. When you think negative, your life will be miserable, and only bad things, as that's how you view the world. And for example, me coming live today, I was like, oh my god, I can't not, because I'm gonna talk about something different. But I'm glad I did. I'm so glad. Bad things happen. Facts. You have to know your audience and who you're dealing with. Bingo. I agree. People don't necessarily pay attention to what you say. They watch how you move. Yes, they do. You have to think before you speak. That's not something everybody understands. A lot of people don't understand that. I watch a lot of wealthy people, and I in my job, I'm around a lot of people who have a lot of resources. And the one thing I notice about all of them is, even watch Oprah, they're very slow to respond and react. They let you get your whole sentence out. It's because they have this air of, I'm okay, I'm comfortable. People who are slower to speak and easier to listen, what you're putting out is that I am available right now for this conversation. Everything that I'm going through, it's okay, it's in check. I'm here and I'm present. And that's a skill set, and that's a way of thinking that not a lot of people can master, because you're dealing with a lot of shit in your brain, and you just want to, even me, I just be like, I interrupt quickly, like, because I want to get it off my tongue. But now I'm trying to practice that habit of allowing, what, clear my brain first. This is not about me. And then open my mind up to, okay, what are we talking about? What's the conversation? Be a better listener, be engaged. And there's a productive conversation, and you'll find that you get a lot more accomplished that way than just doing that. And then, if you do feel like, you don't have an opportunity to speak in a conversation, it's always best to stop and say, so what do you think? And then allow that person to engage and carry on. But it's a skill set. And I do think with age, you begin to understand how to better carry yourself, and what to say, and how appropriate it is, and when you should say it. Like, I had to tell myself Saturday night, like, what the fuck was you thinking? Prime fucking example, myself. And it's a lesson I learned. I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have shared a story if I didn't go through it. And I was just so embarrassed. 14, is you party all night and sleep all day. Now, this is definitely for these younger adults. I hope as adults that we're not considering partying all day and sleeping all night. I think beyond just, I think it's lazy and tacky to party all day and sleep all night. Now, I get vacations and all of that. Yeah, Roman gonna be partying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Weekends too. Yeah. hmm But my Mondays and Wednesdays and Friday, my week. No, I'm a grown ass man. That shit is fine. And people they always get bound by when they see other people traveling or what they see other people doing. It's like, oh, they're doing it. Let me go get busy too. Do you not know that people break? I got a friend who's in debt right now, about $10,000 in debt just off of traveling, living beyond his own means, credit card debt. People will go through their own sacrifices to make you believe that they're living a certain way and doing a certain thing. And then here you go trying to chase after it and follow and do the same thing. And so that's the worst way to take yourself out. Partying all night, sleeping all day, and now what you got to show for yourself? And people, and another thing to me, that sounds like people are afraid of hard work or lazy. Something that is fruitful, productive, do something. Like every day you should have your mind should be thinking, doing something. Whether it's you gonna read a little book, you don't know, that little bit of shit helps you. It increases your memory. You don't want to be out here with dementia at 40, slow and dumb at 50. All of that stuff is worth it right now. Sleeping and shit. What are you doing? You're gonna have plenty of time to do that when you older. Wake your, get your ass up. I have a habit of waking up every day at 4 a.m. No matter what's going on. I'm up at 4 a.m. Period. Now, sometimes I might fall back asleep. Sometimes I might stay there, but I have a habit of getting up at 4 a.m. and my body shuts down around 11 o'clock at night. It's like, oh, I'm going to sleep. And I wake right back up at 4 o'clock and I'm hitting the ground running. That's my bodily routine. That's what I do. And when I don't do those things on off days, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, okay, I didn't do something. You got to get out of the lazy habit. The older you get, the more work you should be doing in your life. The more you should feel like you are accomplishing things. And when I say work, I'm not saying the more heavy work, but the more work you should be doing in your own life to become a better person. Shit don't get easier as you get older. It may get cheaper. It may become, you might have the resources, but the problems are still there. They may be on a larger scale. Don't be blindsided by people who make life look easy. I'm never blindsided. And that's the one thing I watch down here in on YouTube. I listen to people and I watch them all the time, and I'm always like, wow. And people are so gullible. They be believing certain things, and it's like, don't be blindsided. We are here. I'll tell you this, out of my time meeting these content creators, my favorite DKL, these are regular people just like you and I. Okay. And when you start thinking like that, you'll understand why certain things are done that way. And you'll take the glitz and glam out of it and say, okay, yeah, girl, I see. You know, I see what you're doing, whatever that is. You have to be like that with common regular people. I be walking my dog, and this is a little shit for me, but I be outside walking my dog in some fucking sweats and Jordans and shit, looking horrible as hell. Probably didn't even, and I be seeing the other guy in my neighborhood, black guy, walking his dog. He all dressed down. I be seeing looking like, but I say to myself, I instantly go to, well, yeah, you just probably is only. This might be hating. This might be my moment of putting him down so I can feel good about myself. But I say to myself, yeah, it's probably his one moment of the day where he's gotta get his shine on. Meanwhile, I have to go back into my place to rush to get on the phone call. We live in two different worlds. That's how I justify it in my mind. We're living two different worlds. It's okay. You can do that. I have to rush in and out. I don't have the luxury or leisure to just be putting on some fresh fits to go walk my dog. I don't. I'm not hating on you. I can't. And maybe I am hating, but that's the way I justify it in my own mind, because one thing I'm not gonna do is go run back in my house and go change my clothes. You got me fucked up, bitch. I'll be out here in plastic bag, fuck around. No. You really do gotta own it. Just own it. You know. Um I think that's some lazy ass shit. Now, number 15, I can count my friends on one hand. I hold tightly to my close friends. They are hard to find. They are really hard to find nowadays. Everybody's shady as fuck, or got their own ulterior motives. Or if you in the game world, they want to fuck, and you be like, no, 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 I'm not interested at all. Not even the slightest. Now, this next one, number 15, if you're still eating like a college student. Now, this was important, and now you'll understand why I had did that live a few weeks ago with the weight trainer, because I was reading this article and writing that paper, writing this speech during that time, starting during that time then. And I was reading it, I'm like, damn, because my go-to food is some waffles and bacon. I will put waffles in the oven and bacon in the oven just like that. And it's not that I think that I'm anything other than I just want to get a quick meal, but as you get older, you need to provide sustenance, some nutritional value to your body as a grown adult. Get out of that fast food shit every day. You should be having at least one serving of some some vegetables. You should be, and I shouldn't be, I don't have to tell y'all this, but this is what I'm gonna be talking to them. But you should definitely take care of your body and your whole body, the way you eat, what you put in your body. Because a lot of times that that saturated foods and high in cholesterol, that makes you tired, sleepy, lazy. It don't make you productive. Eat that shit at the end of the day. Don't do that shit during the day. Grab you some wholesome food, some snacks, and small meals throughout the day. But this is grown up shit. This is shit you think as an adult. Not I'm about to go and grab me some. My big thing was I used to walk my dog, go grab me some French toast sticks from Burger King and a croissant sandwich. Fuck it up while I'm walking my dog. Get home, be all lazy and shit. Don't want to do nothing, but no, I gotta get on my computer. What are you doing? Stop being. What are you doing? Everything that you do in your life should be lining up to make you the better you. You can't just say I'm gonna be a better me on this side of the fence. Okay, my job, I'm just gonna be a better me at work, or I'm just gonna be a better me here on YouTube. No, nigga, you need to be you need to be a better person, completely whole. And it's a everyday work in progress. Nobody's 100% tomorrow. I'm the best me. No, bitch, ain't nobody Oprah, nobody Beyonce, and they ain't even perfect. They got flaws. We just don't know the magnitude of their flaws. But nobody's perfect. We all got to work at our own shit every fucking day. Every day. I work at my own shit. My commitment levels, I manage all my commitment levels. I try to work on that. I try to manage I try to manage my relationships. I try to manage my anger every day. It's a lot that we have to work on ourselves, but we have to do the work. And that's why I said, as you get older, it's more work. It's not heavier work, but it's more work that you have to continue doing. Nobody should feel like they got to a certain point where, oh, okay, no, but you're human. You still got shit to do. If you lost your money or your resources today, you fall right back into that human slot. And I value that. That's why I don't put nobody above anybody. I treat everyone the same. And I think in the long run, in the short term, I saw how that impacted me down in YouTube when the larger content creators would feel a certain way, and I wouldn't either bestow or kiss the ass, or oftentimes I think about when the with the Bree situation, when I don't know what was going on, but she had wanted me to come over to her channel to talk to her chat about what went on, why I went to 5 channel. And I didn't. And I came to my channel and did it, you know. And it was like, how dare you? Don't give me the exclusive. You go to you go to her channel, then you go to your channel, and then Sunday morning you wake up and you're at Sassy Show. How dare you? And I'm treating, I don't put nobody above nobody. I don't think nobody's bigger than nobody. No, I don't. And that might be a bad pill to swallow, and I might lose people in relationships, but I don't. I look at you all like I want y'all to look at me, a regular dude, regular nigga. I don't think I'm better than nobody, and I certainly don't think you all are better than me. I think some of you all are wiser than me. I think, and I respect you for that. I think you all have a lot of things and experiences that I could learn from, but that doesn't make you. That doesn't put you in a position where I have to, whoa, Lord Jesus, woes is no. I don't. I don't feel that way, and it's not a bad thing. Adults respect each other. That's what they do. they respect each other first, and then all that other shit comes. But I respect everybody first, and I'll never put myself in a position to disrespect someone first. Not when I respect you first. Now the disrespect comes second. I respect everybody, but I don't put nobody on no pedestal. I don't. I don't have that kind of stardom or starstruck or fandom. Um, everybody's, I don't even, with celebrities. It's like, I don't know. It is what it is. But I think there's people should learn to treat people like that. For yourself. Think about how good you would feel about yourself when you know that you're being your authentic you versus somebody else wants you to be. Like, it goes a longer way. That lasts longer than faking it. I'll just say it like that. Me kissing somebody ass is gonna end its meal, because eventually I'm gonna curse. I'm gonna have to say something to your ass. That's why I was like, oh, okay, well, great, you're mad, great, wonderful, all right, okay. Who's next? Who else is mad? You're mad. Okay, it's fine. Let's move on, because people are gonna get mad. They're gonna be mad. But as long as you're mad, you know that you can be mad just like and the next man can be mad. It don't mean nothing to me. And I would want people to treat me that same way. Oh, you're mad? Well, that don't mean shit to me either. I know it shouldn't. I don't. I like that shit. Let me just be mad. I get over that shit, because I do get over shit, and I be over and moving on to the next. I don't dwell in things that I know I can't change or don't mean me shit. I don't dwell in it. I move the fuck on. I told y'all, even with the videos that I get low views on and low likes and shit, girl, that be in the past. I'll be like, okay, next. All right, I see you over there. I see you. Low ass views, bitch. What's your problem? I do that to my own shit. Be competing with my own videos. Like, which one of y'all gonna pop? I said it this morning when Jesse Powell. I put that video down. I said, all right, what you gonna give me, Jesse? Jesse, what we doing, Jesse? What we getting, Jesse? And I enjoy that, because you look at the work that you put into it, and it's like, oh, okay, that means so much more to me than kissing someone's ass to be tolerated, because they don't like you. So all it is for them just to tolerate you. Nah, I can't do that. I'd rather you genuinely like me, or just don't fuck with me, you know? And that's a point that I stress to these young adults. Engage only where you know you will be engaged to. Don't go following after someone. Don't go making yourself out to be an asshole, to look like a fool. Because in long run, you're gonna only hurt yourself. And then the last one is, you don't understand finances. Now, I don't really have to talk to you all adults about that, but I think it's important for these young adults to know that finances are going to play a big part in how comfortable they will be in their next phase of their lives. Your finances is all dependent upon that. Your credit, all of that, how comfortable. Now, I'm not going to say how long or anything like that, but if you want to live a comfortable life, which was explained to me, then you need to make those decisions starting at a younger age. You need to do the things that'll get you there. You need to find a career that, if you left this job and had to go somewhere else, you could find a job. You need to, and what I was told was, those are natural skill sets built into a career. For example, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you are a electrician. Natural skill sets built into the job, versus you finding a librarian job. I mean, that's easy to come by, but it isn't going to afford you that comfortable lifestyle that you want to live. It's all about how comfortable you want to be. Do you want to ride the bus, or do you want to drive a car? And if you make the decision to ride the bus, own that and be comfortable with it. Never look back from those decisions that you made, because you've owned that. You know, I owned the decision when I first moved here. I lived in an Airbnb for like a month, and I didn't tell nobody. I had everybody thinking I had a place. Bitch, I had no fucking place. I didn't know where I wanted to live at. Thank God the Airbnb was downtown. And I was like, oh, this is great. Everything is perfect. But own those decisions. Make those decisions. Because I moved, I literally was like, I want to find a new job. I want to be gone. I got poached, was gone. Had to lie to my TT. Yeah, I got a place. I'm all good. You sure? Yeah, I'm good. I'm sure. Went down there, had to get an Airbnb. I kept renting from the same. I kept doing it. And the lady loved me so much, and she ended up helping me find my next place. But yeah, I think it's important. You have to be the gatekeeper of your own finances if you want to live that comfortable life and not just live paycheck to paycheck. I'm talking about be able to live comfortably. There's a bottom, I for me, that's always being able to have your month's rent in your account, your car payment in your account. You're not waiting for the next check to take care of those bills. Those bills are already paid for. You're thinking about the next bills after that. That's called being able to manage your finances. You're on top of stuff. It's adulting. It isn't the same as paying your cell phone bill 2 days late and your phone's still on. No, bitch, you got to pay bills or you're gonna be put out. So that's how I'm gonna end it with them, is talking about their finances, and then I'm gonna ask them if they have any questions. Y'all got any questions for me? Um, all of that good stuff. I'm buying them. I'm buying all of them. 'Cause since it's to back to school, these little school kits, and on the inside of the school kits is gonna have like a whole bunch of shit that I'm probably gonna put in there. But I'm gonna have a gift card for each person, and the details of that is just I can't even talk about them. But I went through a resourceful friend of mine to get some gift cards for them, and so I'm put them in. I think we're having the battle of who's gonna give the kids the best treats, because they did tell us that you can bring any trinkets and stuff for the kids. So I'm excited about this conversation. 16 signs that you need to grow up and start being an adult. I think it's, if anything I could share with them, I could share with this group of students how important it is for you to recognize these signs and know that you're at a fork in the road of making a decision that will impact you in the future versus a decision that'll impact you just like right now. Like, okay, like right now. That's why I said part of what I'm gonna stop doing is going live when I have half-ass topics or I'm not deeply into it, because that makes for a lackluster show. And I told you my Friday show, I was just like, because I wasn't involved, I wasn't into it, and so, it, what am I trying to keep up with, or who? You talk about it when you want to talk about it, and I think it's important. Step into your own shit. So, yes, you all. This was really good. Healthy eating is imperative in life, ain't it though? I'm gonna catch the replay as a thank you so much, Risa. And you all make sure y'all hit the like button too. I always say you can sleep when you die, right? Real shit though. Those BK French toast sticks are good as fuck, baby. Slim, let me tell you, I tried the Wendy's French toast sticks. Now they're good. They're good. But I think I'm just used to the BK French toast sticks, which I think I'm gonna have to go get me some. Oh no, they about to close. They close at 9:30 here. My thing is presentation. I love a pretty plate that keeps me out of the Mickey D's. Period. Period. Life is a school. You learn every day. I'm definitely an aesthetic person when it comes to food. Okay, you are what you eat, ain't you? I have to leave now. Thank you, Hot Spicy Tea. You have a great day. Thank you for coming through, Zaire. That's why it's important to detox. Zap, what up, Zap? Zap, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know if I missed this earlier, but what age groups are the students? They're from like 16, 17, and 18. And this is their last year in high school, and then they'll be going on to college next year, and this is the year that they're applying and doing all that good stuff. So a lot of folks have, and it's through United Way, and United Way is tapped into a lot of these schools, and our job actually funds or sends volunteers to these organizations. And unfortunately, um, nobody from my job wanted to participate. So yeah, because you ain't hear from me. You really didn't hear that from me. You didn't. Good morning, Journey. We all are stars, aren't we though? At least I feel like it. 9:30. They still open to like 10:30. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. The one that's open at 10 o'clock is way out in Columbia. Now, coming from where I'm at to go to Columbia to get some French toast sticks is that's a little bit much. That's a little obsessive. I'm super late. I'm catch replay. Thank you. You have a good day too, Journey. So no white. At least from my job. I don't know what the other companies sending, but at least from where I'm at, yeah, no. Dang y'all, I enjoyed this. Thank y'all so much for letting me just vibe on that topic. Yo, that thank God for just taking chances and just saying, you know what, today this is what I want to talk about. Y'all dope as fuck for that. I really do fuck with y'all for that. Like for real, as hell. Cause y'all don't understand. Sometimes a part of being a YouTuber is like making sure you thinking you got a good show, and you get a little nervous. You come up here, you be like, okay, I don't know, they may not be into it, but y'all just be rolling with it, and I appreciate that shit. Thank you so much. Y'all help me come up with new things to talk about now to the students, especially about their defining their own paths and stuff like that. Even myself, commitment being my biggest thing. Now we wakes and bakes, sips tea. This was a cool vibe live. Yes, thank you. And so I'm gonna put out the other juicy hot topics and stuff. I'm gonna do that a little later today, y'all. I'm gonna do some uploads and stuff. I'm about to get ready to go walk my baby and get my day started. I definitely appreciate this. Can somebody, how many likes? How many likes we got, y'all? Y'all know we be having a goal for the live. Can we at least get us to how many people in the chat? At least tell me we got 19 likes, y'all. Come on, come on, come on. I can't even see it. My phone be acting crazy. Oh yeah, can't wait for the Tim Norman. Yeah, I want to talk about some updates on that because child, Miss Roby was on the stand yesterday, and then now Tim is getting rid of his whole entire team. I'm just like, for the love of R. Kelly all over again. 34. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For the love of R. Kelly all over again. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What do we got going on? So yeah, be looking for that. I already wrote out my scripts um, for those lives, and I did my P&B one as well, which was very sad. As I was writing the script out for P&B Rock, it's just like crazy. His whole childhood story is fucking crazy. I can't wait for y'all to see this one because I mean, I listened to his music, and then as I was doing it, I had no choice but to have to find out his music. I learned so much about this man that I didn't even know. And like, he's from Philadelphia. I thought he was from LA, but he's literally from Philadelphia. A old hood nigga. P&B Rock was an old hood nigga slinging dick across the city. That's what it was. Went to jail. It's all in the video, but I was very shocked that like his upbringing. He was one of five from his mother. He lost his father at the age of 3, and then the other next father figure to him was his uncle. His uncle got murdered, so his mom moved him out the community to Northeast Philadelphia. He was from Germantown. It's just very sad, and very very sad. And he released the track on September 2nd, "Love You, Love Me Again," and it was supposed to be his rebirth back out and stuff. So lost too soon, man. Lost too soon. He was beautiful to me. Okay, listen. Now don't you always trying to detour Aries. He was definitely cute. Especially as I was looking at all his videos and didn't listen to him. I was like, oh, I'm thinking he'll, light skinned pretty boy, weak sauce. I'm not saying light skin or weak sauce at all by no means. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I thought he was giving light skin, weak sauce, corny. But no, he a little rough around the edges, I should say. Okay, Roman takes strategic sip. Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for letting me talk about it. Replay gang. Please make sure you hit the like button. It was something a little bit different. 31 likes. It went down. Who unlike? Y'all so shady. It went from 34 to 33 to 31. Y'all so shady. I still love y'all all the same, even those who dislike the video. It's all good. Tim nervous. He know he finna go to jail. He might as well give it up. The facts are there. I mean, he might as well give it up. He doesn't literally have anything. I don't understand what the man was doing, to be honest with you. What a stupid ass way to just end your career. And in my video, I'm putting the actual footage of him and his Miss Robbie going to the location of where he passed away and him looking slow. And I'm zooming in on his face. Oh, yeah, I want him to see how much of an asshole he was. You acting that is just it's pitiful, but we're gonna get into that. And y'all know this take a lot of editing. So right now I'm working on the PNB Rock piece. I gotta get that out. And then after that, I'm gonna have my topics video. So give me some time, and we'll be out here. I appreciate y'all so much. Continue to hit me up and fill my inbox up of updates and stories and stuff that y'all find interesting. Yeah, I told y'all Britney Spears said she wasn't dancing no more. Now she out here apologizing to Christina Aguilera because Christina done unfollowed her because she said that if she had the dancers like Christina Aguilera, she would look small too. Basically saying Christina Aguilera's look fat, and they were trying to make Christina look small, which they all do. Um, and now she out here apologizing. I'm like, girl, take her fucking phone for at least a week. Just get her off of Instagram. She clearly needs a therapist because she wants to talk. People be thinking social media is their therapist. We're not your therapist, honey. I'm here to get the tea. And at this point, you're giving unstructured tea. I need you to be delivering structured, clean tea. You out here calling Chris, didn't even know you shaded Christina. You just saying some shit, Brittany. Now you talking about you ain't gonna perform again. Don't get hurt out here trying to talk. That's reckless. That's borderline dangerous to me. I was telling my friend that day, I said she don't know what she up against. How you gonna tell us you not performing again? Can y'all imagine the likes of your favorite artist saying they ain't performing again and you haven't gotten a chance to see them recently? Off your ass. Christina Aguilera built like Lil Kim now. Can we talk about how Megan Thee Stallion did not promote Plan B remix at all? Like literally none. And can y'all notice they sent me a takedown notice on my channel? Yes, I got a copyright strike. My first copyright strike takedown notice for the Little Kim Plan B remix because they didn't want it out here. Bitch, they got that shit down. But the good thing about it is that when they do copyright strikes, they give you the person who striked you. And I sent the man an email because I was like, Rico, what the fuck? Is this shit happening? He was like, just try to edit it or some shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in and look at this shit. And so I went in and I sent an email to the man, and the man was like, took him a while. He finally got back to me and he was like, sure, I will remove the strike, but you must delete the video. If you don't delete the video, we're gonna copyright strike the video again. And so when he did that, I removed the video on my own. So the video is gone now on my own, and the strike has been removed. I said, now what a unique situation. I said, that's God moving with me because I honestly didn't know. And it's still other people playing it, but I think mine had got like 75,000 views, and it had all them people in there talking, slandering Lil Kim and Megan, slandering Lil Kim. I kept getting alerts like I was laughing. I just was laughing. They said this is what she chose to do in her 60s. I laugh when that's why I put the comment on my community wall. I've been laughing all day because somebody said spray her. She really said spray her coochie like the Jordan logo. And somebody said, did she really just say spread it? And I didn't really realize until I heard it back. I said, Little Kim. Now that's the first of all, it's a corny ass line. Spread your like the Jordan logo. Yeah, you might need to just I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad she sort of scrapped that record because it was not hitting for me. Look at some videos. They almost took the same. They almost look the same. Cardi B and Lil Kim starting to look the same. This was good, Gratitude King. Oh, thank you, Zaire. Thank you. Please tell them everybody is not going to be a rapper. Not at all. Morning, King Roman. What up, Anthony? Good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. I'm really gonna let y'all go now. All right. Thank you so much for coming through. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you know when the next time the video drops. And until next time, y'all know it's always a pleasure being here with you all. I really do appreciate it. I'm probably remember I'm easing into this commitment, but more than likely I'll be live Friday morning and we'll have some hot topics between the rest of these next days. I'll have some stories and some stuff to talk about, local news. If not, always count on an upload. I'm going to be uploading videos throughout the rest of this week. And then I do want to have a chill night. I don't know if it's going to be Thursday or Saturday, but I do want to have a chill night, but be looking forward to that. And then another big thing we're going to do this month, I don't know, I only got 2 weeks left, is we're going to just do a celebration for 2 years on the channel. I really want to celebrate y'all for sticking it out with me for those these 2 years. So I'm gonna play back some funny moments, and we're just gonna chill and vibe and celebrate. Like, yo, and I think we met our goal. That little Kim video helped me out so fucking much. Between that and Tony Bryce, it helped my channel out a lot. a lot of Barty gang followed the channel. Tony Bryce and her people shared the video, and I appreciate that so much. So I think we're at like 2,800 subscribers. So we met our goal of 2,500 this year. I'm like, shit, maybe we can close the year with 3,000 subscribers. So I'm gonna work towards that. But shout out, I appreciate the love. Please know that I'm here. And until next time, deuces. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know it can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m.